Welcome back everyone, I'm Jewel and today I'm going to be working in the Paint.net program, but right now I'm in the Giants editor, and the reason why is I'm showing you what I'm going to do. See these roads here? This one I painted on another episode, showed you how to get these lines on this road, and then I showed on another episode how you lay these markers down, these white things, and make this road. So I have two different videos. If you want to check those out, please do. Thank you for all the new subscribers. But I'm going to paint me some more roads because I don't want ones that have just white lines and stuff like that. This was just me testing, getting it figured out. But technically, I want one with white lines on the edges and yellow in the middle and a whole bunch of other things. I made a few, but I'm going to show you again how to make them and get it ready. So when you get ready to use them, you might not want all the same roads. You might have a need for this road here, and you might need a different one here, and it's a certain way you have to do it, but I just want to show you a little bit about it. And also I'm going to probably on another video show you how to make it wider and get it to fit over these bridges uh, that we have here. Let me run over here real quick so you can see it right there. As you can see, there's no road there yet, but you got to have it wide enough, and those roads are a little bit smaller, so I'm going to show you that. And I might even do it where you don't have the green on the sides like that one did. You can't see it right here. I'll have to, let me scroll over here to this test piece and show you, because I already covered it up pretty much right there, but it's not perfect. See this green? They make it so it has some green there. I don't particularly want that there, especially for the bridge, because see, I shrunk this bridge just testing, and see how the green sticks out. So I'm gonna do away with the green on the edges if possible. I haven't tried it before, but I'm sure it'll work. And this one I want to show you also. See how this doesn't quite, the ground doesn't quite conform up to it real good. So that's something, maybe once I take the edges off of it, it'll do better. I'm not sure, but I'm going to do some testing. But you can see it's a pain if you was to click on it and you add it, it just never goes straight. You see how it's doing? No matter what you do, it's just constantly, it's just not going to do it the way you want it. So it's kind of a pain getting it up to the edge. And I might put some curbs in, but I don't even know if that's going to help, because then you got to get the ground up to the curb, but I have to look. But anyway, so let's go ahead and jump into the Paint.net and show you the process on this. So we're going to go ahead and open it up. I already have one in here, but what I'm going to do is also open this and show you what I've done. And if you'll go to wherever you downloaded the Spline Street Constructor, and obviously you'll have to look at my other video to see how to do that, and if you do, then you'll have this road that you can change. So you're going to open it up, you're going to go in here, and road 51 is the main one. Do not delete that or anything. You're going to be always using it to work from. So we're going to left click on it, right click on it, you would click copy. Now I've already done it, so I'm not going to do it right now. Click copy. Don't click cut, click copy. You want to leave this one in here. Once you do that, you're going to go to somewhere else, wherever you want, and make a new folder. But I'm just going to go to music, so just because I don't have any music in there, I have other stuff in there. Alright, just to keep it separate from all this, getting it mixed up. Now, I made a folder, so you click up here on the left hand top corner, or you could do there's a lot of ways you can make a folder. So you could right click, come down to new, then go slide over and go up to this here and left click it. That would make a new folder. There's just different ways. So that's one way. Alright, so we've got make a new folder and name it whatever you want. I named mine Painted Roads for map making, just so I know what it is. So then none of this would be here because you just made the folder. Then you would right click and then you would click paste. But since I didn't hit copy, it's not there. But obviously yours would show up paste if you had hit copy on the other one, and you hit left click on it and then put it in here. These two won't be here. This would be the only one in here. Then you would left click on it once, then right click on it, and you would come to open with paint.net and you would left click on that. Now once it opens, it's going to open just like this. That's all I've done right here. That's all I did was open it to here. It's going to open in paint.net. Now what we're going to do is go down to the bottom and left click on the minus the magnification a little bit just so we can see the whole thing. And as you can see, these are the rulers. You just click here if it's not already up. See it? You click that and it brings that up so you can measure. It just helps you measure and get things straight. This right here would be probably over here, but you can move it around because you're going to be dragging this over here to line it up with stuff to get it better. And you're going to want to click on this one over here in the right hand corner. See these colors? You can drag that over if you want. See it where it says black and white right there? You're going to click that and see how it puts it here. Then you're going to click this arrow and it's going to switch it. The top one is the one you'll be working with. If you want the black line, of course it would be here, but we're not going to have any black lines because it's a road. And so at this point, yes, there's white lines, but we don't want those white. We want something else. So we're going to click on this right here. I'm not even sure what it's called. Rectangle select short key cut key 5. Alright, and then you're going to come over here and you're going to left click right there and you're going to drag it down. And the reason I'm doing that, you're going to bring it to about right here. You're going to let go. I want this little section that looks the cleanest. All this other stuff looks just terrible and I don't like it. So you want this area that's nice and pretty. So once you get that selected, you're going to click on this one here. It says move selected pixels, shortcut key M. So you're going to left click on that and it's going to bring this up. Well, once that's up, you grab this little circle here and you can stretch it. See how it's going to cover it all up? And you're going to bring it down right to the bottom. Make sure you go past the end so it's covering it all up on this side and the bottom. Then you're going to do the same over here, drag it over, even covering up the white lines. This up here isn't quite covered up, so you're going to bring it up and cover it up. So that took care of all that. So you're done with that. So next, we're going to go ahead and click on this line. It says line slash curve, but we're going to be using it for the line. We're not going to be necessarily curving anything right now. So now we want white lines, I suppose, on the outer edges of the road. So what you're going to do is take your brush width here and type in 20 because that's how wide you want it. You could do it a little bigger or less if you wish, but in this case that's what I chose. So then we're going to come up here just above it to make sure you get it all. You don't want it below it because then the road will look funny because they're all going to be meeting together as this road gets laid out piece by piece, so they're going to be buttoned together. Alright, so then you're going to click up here, you're going to drag it down, and you can still move it, so don't panic if you didn't get it exactly where you wanted it. Now eyeball it, or look at the line at the top. I don't think you can see it. See that little black line moving back and forth at the top on the ruler? If you can, when you clicked, make sure you put it on a line, and then you'll know when you get to the bottom to put it back on that line and you'll have it straight. So this looks not quite perfect. Let me move it over a little. Let's see. That's about right. I'm going to let go. Make sure it's all the way past each side. And if you had to move it a little with that, you could. But if you do, it's going to be a little curvy, so I wouldn't do that. I would try to leave it as straight as possible. Alright, so I think that's good enough. I like the width of that. Normally, I would move this and you can drag it over and make this whole white line move left or right, but since that's about what I would put it at, I'm gonna pretty much leave that one. But now we need to click on this side and we're gonna drag it down, and we'll probably move this one because it's not quite hitting where it should. But basically you just want to make sure you get it straight so that looks like it's all equal at least. And then we're going to roll up a little so we can grab this, left click on it, and drag it over. You got to hold it down while you're when you left click, hold the left mouse button down until you get ready to release it. When you move it, you can drag it over, make it the same size as the other side. And that looks it looks good. I'm gonna let go here. Just let go and you're done with that. So now we have our white lines, and now I need, in this case, I'm gonna do two double yellow lines. So I'm gonna click on, actually I'm gonna click off of this one because it'll change it to yellow if I don't. So we're gonna click on this T for text just to get it off of that line. Now we're gonna change it to the yellow. Okay, and I picked this one because that's the best one I could see that looks like the road lines. And then I'm going to click back on the road line. And then I'm going to, normally you would want it in the very center. But if you're having two yellow lines, the two solid yellow lines next to each other, you're going to want to move it over a little bit. So I'm going to assume that, and you look at the top, try to determine where your line should be according to that. So I'm not sure. I guess I'll put it here. We'll have to move it if we don't like it. And we'll drag it down. And if it looks good, it don't look, there we go. I think that's pretty straight, then let go. Then we're going to come up here. And then we're going to go past it a little. Let me see. Trying to get that line lined up with that, where that 500 is, approximately. And really you don't necessarily want them this wide, but we'll see. Make sure you go past the end of the road so it goes all the way. Come down and try to figure out exactly where it's equal to what you need. Trying to decide how that looks. That looks good. Let go. Make sure it goes off the end. Alright, now we have our road with double lines. Now if we don't like that, we could have moved this one over a little if we were worried about that, and then you could grab this one and move it over. I think that's okay. I mean, they kind of need to be a little closer together. I don't know. If I were to do that though, say I move this one, let's move it. See, it's not, this side's a little wider than this side. You can roll this over here, scroll, grab it and drag it to the right, but it's going to push the road to the left. And you can get it over here to test how straight you did. See, it's not quite perfectly straight, and that's one way to test that. And also you can get closer because you could measure the lines. So I think that's pretty decent. I mean, it's not perfect. You got to figure, say if we put this, watch this line up here, put it on the white one, so it's just about, around the first line. It's not quite on the first line. Then you go over to this one and you count from the first line to this line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 between the white line and the yellow line. So let's point to this one and count to the white one. Okay, so the white one's going to end up here, so we're going to count over till you hit the yellow. So say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it looks like. Let me line it up. 10. So it went to 10. So I think I said 9 on the other and 10 on that one, so you can tell this side's a little wider. So in that case, if you were tripping out about it and you were like, no, this has to be right, you gotta move it, it's gotta move over, then what you would have to do is undo it. You go to edit, undo, undo, and then undo until you got this line here again. Then you could gently move it over just a little, and then see, you could test it and see if that was enough. Then you would get this, make sure it was still on all your stuff you needed. Then you would start up here again, drag it down, make it straight again. That looks pretty straight. Let go. Then you could do the same thing again and measure the two distances and just count these lines. So you would hold it on this one and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Basically it was 10, and then this one you would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it's almost 10. It's not quite. It's still off a little bit, but that's essentially how you would measure it. So you would have to figure that out. But I think it looks good enough. I'm satisfied with it. That's my double yellow lines. I don't know if they need to be any closer together. I think it looks okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. Now what you would do after you're satisfied with what you've done, you're going to come up here and click on File, go to Save As. You don't want to leave this the same name. You want to leave it the same, but you want to add something to it. Click at the end of it. In this case, I'm going to hit Shift, hold down the Shift key and hit the underscore key, which is really the minus key, but it's also an underscore key as well. So hit that, and y'all do that, and then I'm going to name it double, capital D, double yellow. And I'm not even going to say lines because I don't want to make it too long, but it's obvious what that would mean, so I would know. And then if it's not already on a DDS file or whatever you would call it, change it to the DDS, the direct draw surface. Normally it might be on JPEG or PNG or something. So change it, and then don't forget, if you use this program to change it back, if you're saving something else you need, because you might forget and it might not be how you want it. So anyway, once you do that, hit save. Now what it's going to do, then hit OK, and then we're going to go back to the file here, and you can see it popped up. Now as you can see, I've already done a couple more, but what you might be thinking is, why did it put these down here and leave that one? Well, now you still got this one to work from, so that's the one you're going to keep working from. These are going to be the ones you've already done, so they pop up after you've saved it. It keeps this one. It don't change it, so you don't have to keep recopying it. So what you would do is then you would click on it again, right click, open with paint.net, and do another one. But in this case, I want to show you the ones I've already done. So I'm going to left click on the center, yellow center, and you'll see as I open it with paint.net what it looks like. So I painted this one. Now you can see it looks slightly, this one might be a tad crooked, but for now that's good. If it looks horrible when I lay the road, I can always come in here and change it. This is just getting started. So basically you got your yellow lines, obviously, which you can pass on either side when they're broken up like that and there's no solid lines. And then we're gonna open, this is one of the first ones, and then this one I put yellow passing, and then paint.net, and I made a double solid line, one solid line yellow, and then all these are the dotted, which they're not quite perfect. I would have needed to potentially move them over here a little closer, but this is the gist. And basically what you can do is the same thing, everything I just showed you, but the only difference is you're gonna once you get your zoom in a little bit to get this where you can move it, drag it over here, and you can see how close you are on lining it up. And also you can see how you can get closer to this, so you can make the lines the right distance. So what I did is I got all my stuff done, white lines, yellow line, the long one, and then I took and figured from 0, halfway between 0 and this first number, so right in the middle, and then I clicked there and drew down until the other half. So basically one whole section, which would be from 0 to there, except it would be from the midpoint to the other midpoint, if you get what I'm saying. So once I did that, and I left that so I'd know that's how far each one would be. So then I took and clicked here again after I laid that one where I wanted it, lined it all up to the top and the sides where I wanted it. I left clicked next to this one, and then I drug the thing down and made another line and stopped it right there, right next to it, so I could see if it was exact same length. And then it would show that little thing you grab it and move it with. So I click on that and drag it down until where I thought it looked like it was the same distance, according to these lines, and then let go and get it lined up as close as you can between these. Here's the distance. You can see how the thickness is, and then you do it again. You start here, draw another line, let go, grab the little mover thing, drag it down, let go. Do it again and again, and make sure, I'll roll it over where you can see, make sure that this bottom one comes out. One is empty, like a space here that doesn't hit the edge of the road on this yellow line, and this one needs to hit the bottom. Even though this one's a little longer, you could have made it a little shorter and just made sure that it hits the end. It needs to come all the way off, because then once it butts up, this road here, this side is going to butt up to this road when it makes the road. So then you're going to have a space here and then the line, so it's perfect. Then you'll still have your space. Otherwise you'll have a too long of a space if you leave two spaces, or if you make the lines both touch, you're going to have one major long line, because these two are going to connect, this one and this one, and it would butt together and it would look wrong. So make sure one side is all the way and one side is a space. But anyway, and then you can make any other kind of road stuff you want. Let me think a minute. I was gonna make, I got the double, I got that one. There is one you could do where it's just a solid yellow line, but you know, here we go. We can go ahead and do this again real quick and get it going, and click this. It's not really that hard once you learn it. Move that out so I can see better. Bring it up, grab this, bring it over, grab this, bring it up. Alright, everything should be in where it should be. Alright, then we're going to click on this. I'm going to go over here. Now you also can have yellow lines on the outside. It just depends on what road you're trying to make. But in this case I'm just going to do another white one on the edges. And I already have mine at 20 on the width of the brush, so just make sure you deal with that if you haven't. And then we'll just grab that and drag it over to where we want it. That's pretty good. Now also you need to watch. Try to make sure that this and the bottom is exactly the same. This one's not really, but if I drag that over, it kind of throws the rest of it off a little bit. You can see it kind of curves. So if you don't like it, you can undo it. Just click edit, undo, and if that don't match enough to your liking, then just undo it again and then redraw it. Do it one more time, undo, and then just go ahead and line it up at the top. See that line? And then go down and then look back up, make sure that you're on that line when you let go, and you'll have the same whatever you had picked. So you would have the thickness, and then we just move that over. Now that one don't look quite perfect, but this is just rough, so I'm not worried too much about it. Alright, so now we're going to grab one over here, bring it down, and let go. And we're going to slightly move it over just a bit. Not that far. Alright. It's not perfect, but you get the point. This one's not going to meet this end perfectly. As you can see, it's less over here, but I'm not going to redo it. I'm just showing you something. And then I'm going to click the yellow line. See, and it changed it. So I'm going to have to undo. Actually, I don't have to undo. I just make it white again. And then you're going to click on the T to get it off of there just for a second, so you can change the color and get it off of there to get ready for a new one. Then come back to that one, and then you're going to choose where you think the middle is, and then you're going to grab it and bring it down. And then that's going to be another roadway. That's just going to be a solid yellow line instead of a double. So then you come to File, and then hit Save As, and then you're going to click there at the end of that. underscore, and I'm just gonna put solid single yellow, just so I know. I don't even know if I did that right. Let me make sure that's not a capital I. There we go. Alright, and then it's on the DDS, so, and then hit save, and then hit OK. Alright, so we got that one. Now we're ready to go. And then if you want others, you just click on the 51, open with paint.net, and then come in and do your stuff again. Now you could probably make one of these that's already done like this part, and then keep going from there, but it don't take that long to do it, so I'm not too concerned with that. I mean, it literally don't take long at all. As you can see, I've done several while you've been watching, so, and just try to get it up there. I don't want it too hanging down too far, just in case, but just bring everything where it should be. And in this case, I'm just going to show you. I'm not necessarily going to make it right now because I'm not exactly prepared and figured out what I want to do yet. But some of them are going to have at the end of the road, you're going to have white lines, or you're going to have a stop line for the red light, and then you're going to want a bigger number. So let's say 40, maybe even more once I look and see. And you're going to come across it here, see. Now obviously it's going to have to be bigger than that. So we're going to say, let's say 60 maybe. Nope. I'm not sure how big it's going to look in the game. I'll have to wait till I see it in game. But if you get my point, that's that little white line that's at the stop, like at a red light or traffic light, if you'd rather say. And then you can also, if you painted one this way, put it in the middle, if I can get it there, and make it a little ways, not far, because it's not very far on the ones let go. Then you got that, but then you click off of it, then you click on this triangles and squares and stuff, then come up to the left hand corner, click on there, and pick an arrow. I'm not sure which one looks more like the arrows. I guess that one looks more like it, so we'll pick that. And then you can take, if you know how sometimes it shows you turning or going straight, it's your choices that you can do. You're going to bring the numbers down probably quite a bit. We'll probably have to go even lower than what I just did. Then you're going to drag over, and you're just making the size, so don't worry about where it's at. You're going to drag that over wherever you need it to be. But see, that one technically would be the one you want going straight, because, you know, like that. We could go lower. Let's go to 8 maybe. See, it shrunk it down. You know, whatever you think the right size is. But the problem with this one is we could drag it down a little. I'm going to drop it down a little and see if I can get it, see how I can get it. That don't look bad. What I was hoping for, though, let me go lower, try 4. Okay, I don't know if it's changing that now. Oh, it is. It's changing the thickness, but not the size of the arrow. Alright, let me just try to change the size of the arrow myself. Alright, now if you wanted an arrow that curves, I'm not quite sure how we would achieve that. So I clicked off of here. You know how sometimes they kind of like show an arrow that actually curves. I don't think I can do that, so I could maybe make one that looks something like that. It's not going to be perfect, because I can't curve it is the thing. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it would make a good, nah, it's not going to let me curve it. You would have to freehand draw it if you wanted it like that. Now what you could do is, if you wanted, you could try to do it like that, see if it looked good enough. Then you're going to come over here to this paint bucket, and you're going to click right in it, and it'll paint it. And you're going to do it over here, and then then you're gonna, if you have any spots that didn't do good, you can still click this one in there if you can get it to. If not, you can come over here and click on the paintbrush and just paint it in. But as you can see, I didn't quite get that low enough, so it kind of looks silly. But basically, you could do it however you want, try to figure out. But or you could freehand the curved arrow if you could do that. Actually, I have one way you could possibly do it. Let me undo this and see. And then I'm gonna call it an episode. I just wanted to show you some different things you could try. Let me get this off. Come on. Takes a second when you do a bunch on there. Keep undoing it till you're satisfied. Not quite there yet. Alright, you see this line? It has a curve thing to it. So what we could do is try to make an arrow and then make it curve. This one really wasn't quite long enough for that. Let me make that one longer. Let me undo it till it's I don't even have to undo it anymore. I just can drag it out. That might be a little big, but I'm just trying to get you the point. So, and then you're going to say the arrow curves from here somehow. Drag it over. You want to drag it over. Let's see. Alright, and then you can pull this over to make the curve, is what I'm trying to show you. And then once you're satisfied with that curve, click it. Then you make the other one. Just draw it out and pull the curves however you need to. It's a little finagling you have to do with it to get it just right, but you get the point. So make the curves, and if you're satisfied with that, then you're gonna make your line for your, well, that didn't work out because it, well, no, I'm gonna undo that because I want it to be better than that. Make sure you go within the line because you got to be able to get it where you need it. And you're going to make the arrow. Obviously, in this case, it's not going to do much of an arrow because it's too small here. But I'm just giving you the idea of how you would do it. Then you draw this one. And I'm just doing it quick because I'm not really trying to be perfect. I'm just trying to give you the idea of it. And then that should be good enough to where you could paint. So you get the bucket, you paint it, and change off of it, and then come back to the bucket, click it up. Gotta undo it. If you didn't quite get it exactly where you needed, like connecting all these lines, that's why I did that. So you would have to make sure they were beefed up. You could try beefing it up with the number, say the 8, but it ain't gonna do it because it's not still highlighted, so that don't count. But make sure when you do it that your lines are connected. See, this is a little spot that's not connected. That should have took care of it, I think. So we'll try this again, but I don't know. Nope. But you get the point, as long as you made sure that you drew it right. You could use this if you have to and just paint it in, but that's like a whole pain. And you can change the brush width, of course, but that's like hard to do. You could actually freehand painting the arrow curving like such, but you get the point. So that's all I was trying to teach you. You do it the same way, you save it the same way, and then you can make other ones facing different ways, and or whatever you need, different roads if they have different types of lines on it. So, but anyway, I just wanted to show you a few different ways of doing it. As you can see, the different roads, I just wanted to let you see what you could do. And anyway, hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna catch you on the next one, and thanks for watching. Appreciate all the new subscribers. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and help the channel continue to grow, and hit the like button and turn on your notification bell if you want to receive a notification. every time I post a video. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Stay tuned for more map making. Goodbye, everybody.